trying out the best storycraft tips and how-to videos from the author tubers you know and love, who are the only reason I've made it this far. Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Phoebe Ross, and today we are doing Storycraft Hack. For me, I think that the craft in the story is what really is the magic. You can have an incredible plot, juicy characters, and a fantastic world building setup. But none of that matters if you can't put it on the page in a clear, consistent, compelling way. I think that's where the craft of storytelling really weaves everything together. That's typically when I turn to the pros, the experts here on AuthorTube who've been doing this for years, giving tried and true advice. I'm gonna take that advice, give it a try, and report back using Storycraft hacks and tell you how it goes. Today, our Storycraft hack is Synopsis with Holly Davis and Kat Cho. I will be linking their videos and channels below. 100% after this video, run like the wind over there. Check out their videos because they go in so much more depth and add richness to why they're making the recommendations they do. But first, what is a synopsis? So, a synopsis is simply the summary of a story from beginning to end, spoilers and all, in a nice, concise way that paints an accurate picture of the full story. Whether it's an agent, a mentor, or pitch program that's taking a look, you definitely want to get this piece right, and you want to get it done before you begin querying. That's right, if you wait until after you query and they ask for one, the agents are going to expect a quick reply. And if you don't have the dreaded synopsis ready, you don't want to be stuck in that position. So, number one, the rules. Both Kat and Holly, I think, did an awesome job breaking down the rules, the basic industry standards for the synopsis. But I've got the list. So, Holly recommends it needs to be in third person present tense. And I have seen that consistent with all the synopses I've looked at, critiqued, and all the advice I've received. It needs to be no longer than 2 pages, typically 1 to 2 pages. And be sure to check out Holly's tips for prose spacing and indentation on those. Also, Kat recommends keeping it closer to 500 words. Holly recommends naming only 3 to 4 characters by name in the synopsis. And when you do use names, be sure to capitalize every letter of the name the first time you mention them. Don't forget that. Be careful not to add too many fun, cool, interesting characters that are not fundamental. Same as world building. You don't want to sprinkle in too many details about world building that aren't fundamental to moving your story forward. Moving your story forward. Think protagonist, antagonist, love interest, or sidekick, and the key elements of your world building that make it unique. Don't forget to mention your main character's primary, internal, and external wants, because the wants drive their motivation. Holly Davis's synopsis video is actually the one that I used when I was working on my first synopsis. Because I have queried, I already have a synopsis put together that has been workshopped by quite a few friends and has been sent out to multiple agents. But because I just did a major rewrite, it's time to take a second look. So I went back to Holly's video. She recommends, first and foremost, Holly and I both recommend updating your outline. If your outline is out of date before you end your story, next time you pick it up, it's gonna be whack. Her first recommendation is if you already have a query blurb, start there. The difference is query blurbs are much, much shorter and do not spoil the ending, whereas the synopsis is much longer and does spoil the ending, but it's a great place to start. Another option is to start with your updated outline, or even just taking a chapter by chapter breakdown. I like to take the chapter titles or numbers and doing a 1 to 2 sentence description of each chapter. Boiling down to just 1 or 2 sentences makes it a lot easier to pick out the key information along the way. Then Holly recommends taking roughly 10 milestones that line up pretty closely with the Save the Cat 15 beats. If you're not familiar, Save the Cat beat sheet is a 15 beat outline that a lot of writers follow as they craft their story. I will be linking her video. Definitely take a look at the 10 milestones she recommends, but for Kat, I will break down her actual steps. Now for Kat Cho's recommendations, I loved the 9 milestones that she recommends starting with. I actually have kept note of these for other outlining and, story expanding when I need to make revisions. I love her approach. It's not the beat sheet, but they are pretty important milestones. So first impression, normal world setup, inciting incident or the catalyst, when your character flounders, going from reactive to active for your main character, the backslide into the low point, recovery, the climax, and the resolution. And I definitely recommend Kat's video for this because she breaks down the Hunger Games, and I think she does an awesome job breaking down the Hunger Games along these bullet points, as well as recommending an entire other set of beats to consider for your synopsis and whatever works best for you. So what is my plan of attack with these 2 amazing suggestion videos? My plan is to take my outline, update it, make sure it's accurate. I'm gonna do 1 to 2 sentences for each chapter, boiling down only to the most important information. Then I'm going to take these milestones, basically connecting the dots. Chapter 4 is the inciting incident. From there, I'm going to try to build the synopsis. I might not post the final product because that would spoil the whole book, but I will tell you how it goes in the next couple days. Let's see what happens. So just like Holly suggested, I went through and updated my outline based on the new structure. Jumping over here, I took my outline in a smaller version and I tried to flag it. The milestones that Kat suggested, as well as the milestones that Holly suggested. I'm flagging the exact same highlights. The next thing I will be doing is taking these bullet pointed lists and my little mini blurbs and piecing them back together into that 500 word-ish synopsis. And I won't be showing that because that will spoil the whole book. It will spoil the whole book. However, I have an update on how the synopsis went. I had my 2 most recent beta readers read it, but unfortunately, I waited until the trash man arrived to record this video, which, to be honest, is where that old synopsis belonged, in that dumpster. I'm so glad that I looked at Holly and Kat's videos because they needed to be tightened up. I definitely hope that this new synopsis is a lot better, and also that you can hear me over the roaring sound of my trash man or woman. But yeah, we're gonna be okay with the synopsis. Definitely should comment on Holly and Kat's videos if you have any questions, because I am not qualified to help at all. But yeah, feeling good. I appreciate you guys watching this video. This has been Storycraft Hacks, where I craft the Storycraft hack. What? Where I hack the craft tips from author tubers you know and love and try them out for myself, report back, and I give this one an A+.